The following material contains strong language and adult content. Please be advised.
This is the Comfortably Poor Podcast, an uncensored, wide open, anything and everything goes podcast. You won't find anything like it. And why is that? Because the Comfortably Poor Podcast keeps it 100. Let's go.
100, bitch. 100 minus 1,199. Or no, $100, right?
All right, let's just keep it moving.
That's 100 pennies for your stimulus check having asses. Did you get your check yet?
Hell yeah, I got mine this morning.
Yeah, baby. Adam got his check this morning, baby.
Got mine.
Baller.
It's already gone. But
did it say Donald Trump on it?
About it. Probably. Yeah. Got it, and I paid off a credit card, and I feel good about it. One credit card is complete.
You paid off a credit card, huh?
The whole thing. Finally.
Good shit.
That's it. Good, bro. That's it. Fuck it.
I've been working on building my credit for like the last 2 years because I fucked it up. Excuse me. And man, when you get yourself in debt, trying to climb out of debt is a bitch. Like, you don't realize how much you're hurting yourself when you're swiping that fucking piece of plastic through every machine in the mall, online, wherever you can swipe that damn thing. And you eventually, later on down the road, look at your statements, it's like, how did I get $14,000 in debt?
Well, it's just like that. Well, see, the thing is, and knock on wood, I eventually want to finish fixing up my credit because I definitely don't have that much at all, or as much as a lot of people would claim as a problem. But I think that it's physical, right? Like physical shit. I really believe the design of credit cards and debit cards was to make you not think about your money. So that every time you swiped, it's so easy to swipe a piece of plastic than have to take out a couple dollar bills, 20s here, having to count shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the loss of physicality there when we are distributing something has literally makes us so just willy-nilly. Swipe, you know? It's easy.
Well, that's how I
especially you don't got
for sure. And
you don't got, a couple bucks on hand, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to fucking use the last 20, 30, 40 in your account for some bullshit, so you just fucking swipe your credit card. I'll take care of it later. Out of sight, out of mind type of shit.
I hit 18, and I saw that they gave me a credit card, my first one, Capital One. At 18 years old, I got $300, and Capital One became my best friend. I ran that $300 up in 2 hours. Done. I went to Macy's, and actually back then I think it was still called Meyer and Frank out here on the West Coast.
Meyer and Frank.
And went to Nordstrom. I bought a bunch of clothes and cologne, and I was suited at 18. And then paid that shit off. Guess what? I got bumped up to 500. I was like, oh,
yeah, baby.
Me and you, we're
That's
gonna
what happened
great
here.
Friends, Capital One. And then so on, it kept getting more and more. And then by 20 years old, my credit was fucked. I was in so much debt. So I worked and paid that shit off. It was about 5 years ago. I applied for another credit card because I paid everything off, and over those like 10 years or so, I was working on trying to pay shit back and get myself correct, and I did, and like it's like, you know what, I could really use another credit card. Like I need to kind of see if I can get something to kind of start helping build it a little faster. So I applied for one, that good old Capital One again. And sure enough,
they love giving out cards, baby. They're the devil.
After 10, 15 years, they said, I hit submit. That shit's I was like, oh, shit. We're back in business, baby. Here we go. And literally my mind went nuts, and I applied for 6 more credit cards. When they told me that my credit was good enough to get credit cards again, I went to Barclays, I went to Chase, I went back to I got 2 from Capital One. I got Citibank. Man, I got double point cards. I got airplane mile cards. I went stupid crazy.
So don't get me wrong. I'm not fucking innocent. I definitely spent a lot of money, and I've spent really useless money. I have built some really bad credit reports with not paying stuff back on time, right? And it's stuff like that has really more so ruined me than actually building the credit. What fucked me, what finally got me the last bit, was some rental history with roommates. Never room with anybody.
Yeah, I've never really had roommates. I never had roommates. Roommates are it's a strange concept to have roommates, and I've heard that intertwining with other people can definitely fuck your shit up.
1,000. No, it definitely will fuck your money up. I had a roommate in Washington.
Well, any kind of.
It wasn't even a relationship.
Intertwining, but any kind of getting close.
Any
to
type
other
of
people.
human situation, having to live with somebody.
Where you're depending on another person at some point.
Where your bills are afloat if they give you their portion.
Yeah. Yep.
And if it's not your significant other, right? Because obviously your significant
Even
other,
them,
you have
though.
that idea. No, for sure. But it's a little more guaranteed.
Liability.
If you break up, you're not going to get that money.
No, right. No.
If me and my roommate fight, I still need that money. You see what I'm saying? And they might not give it to me. So
absolutely. No, there is a difference.
It's a little more
There's a clear
guaranteed.
difference.
For sure, but it's still freaky. It's still freaky to even put yourself in that position to where somebody can financially fuck you. And it happened to me. I'm $2,000 down, and there was only 2 months left on the rent. 2 months. And they just dropped it.
So, I mean, when it comes to money, I'm one of these people, I look at money as a bad grade. And I don't like failure. So, and also at the core of
That's
it, I'm a
good way
procrastinator.
to look at it, though.
I'm also a procrastinator. I know that I'm a procrastinator. So, it'll be one of those situations where, I hate gambling. And that's another thing, too. And I think these people, and I've seen it before, too many of my friends, 5, 6, 7 credit cards they've got, but they've got to pay all those credit cards off. And, to me, it's like gambling because it's like they're throwing at the wall to see what sticks, and a lot of it just I could even conceive of a way of having a lot of credit cards and maybe investing in it some way, with credit cards. But most of the way people are using credit cards is just to throw money at walls, and I don't really see the reason for that. I've had over the years 3 credit cards, no more than 3. I've had one for years. I've had one since I was about 19. I still keep that one. I've had the second one that I have currently since I was about 25 or so. I don't have any other credit cards other than that right now. Like I said, over the years, I've had 3. I've had another one, but I paid off and closed that one. But it can be addicting. If you have good credit and they're willing to give you, because I have decent credit. I don't know what my credit score is now because I actually had to recently pay off a few bills that I, for whatever reason, didn't know I even had. But that was taken care of, and so I'm not sure what it is now. I'd say it's in the 6 or 7 something in that range. But it can be really easy to spend money, and I can spend money well, just like you, Adam. I can spend money
so fast.
very fucking fast. Within a couple of hours, I could spend a couple $1,000s. It's not a hard thing to do easily. It's not. I mean, I turn on Amazon and boom, money just starts flowing. And the funny thing is, when I first get it, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like I'm gonna have this money forever. I'm finna sit on this. I'm finna save it. I'm gonna be frivolous. But then you see things, and then you start to realize, I need that, and then I need that. Then I have to have that, and then I want that.
Well, it's more so.
I just buy some.
And then, hold on. But moreover, hold on. But moreover, right? having a kid, she needs that. Her mom needs that. She really needs, you know what I mean? And then having 2 kids, they need that. And then her mom
You
needs
at least
that.
have an
Like,
excuse. I don't.
you know, but it
just
doesn't
say
have to
myself.
even be them. Like, that's just a huge bay window through which to throw stuff out of. I have tons of other smaller kitchen windows, you know what I mean? Like, and sitting windows where I can throw money out of too. It's just the kid window is enormous, and it keeps growing and doesn't stop growing till around 21 or so. And even then it doesn't stop. So
Shay saying in the chat, hey fellas, Sam saying that she didn't start using her college credit card until she was not even in college, which is hilarious. She also said, don't live with anyone. Roommates are the worst, 1,000%. And she is also shocked that you hate gambling, Brando. I
hate gambling.
I think that goes for everybody. Well, I think a lot of it, too, is you know, knowing you, being a buddy of ours for, you know, with her for 5-something years, for me, 10 years. You like partying. You like to make sure the niggas are taken care of. You like to make sure that, you know, that's a big thing for you. So, and gambling is a big part of that. When people talk about partying and going nuts, they talk about gambling.
Like,
But I think
consider gambling a big part of partying. Yeah, people. Yeah.
right.
My thing is when I do something, I go straight to the top. Like when I started wanting to do audio stuff and radio stuff, you know, Dan, you do this as a career.
You took it.
I did this as a hobby. You know,
Hobby,
started
yeah.
doing this like 2 years ago. But I wanted my shit to sound good. I went out, bought one of, you know, the better microphones out there. I went out and bought one of the better boards out there. I bought a brand new Mac. I bought a brand new laptop. Like, I go spend.
You bought the microphone I was gonna get.
Shit. Yeah, I
got the more expensive microphone. Ridiculous.
It's just the way I go. It's the way I work. The way my mind works. Like if I'm gonna do something, I want the I want the best shit possible.
Exactly.
So I just swipe that plastic. Like, oh, there it goes.
Well, the thing is, I don't blame you, Adam, because that's what happened when I turned 18. When I turned 18, one of the first credit cards I got not only was a Capital One credit card, but it was also an Amazon credit card.
Capital One.
Don't get an Amazon credit card at 18. I promise you.
They get
You will
with
make
that
some
discount.
horrible-
Oh, you get the little percent.
They
You
get
the
you with that
percent off.
6-month fucking don't pay it off for 6 months shit.
Yeah.
Oh! It's insane. So, from that, I was able to build up on my gear. It was that.
Yeah.
That was what literally led me down to buy compressors and a new mixer and monitors and monitoring headphones and all these things that I never would have been able to get otherwise, right? And I think that, again, you know, I definitely bought some stupid shit with my Amazon credit card. I was given a grand fucking limit. So I bought, so yeah. So I bought stupid shit. I did.
Fun time.
But in other credit cards I've had, but anytime I've ever taken out a credit card, other than the Amazon and the Capital One, everything else was because I needed it. So, like, I needed new clothes. I definitely didn't have money on hand, so I needed to get that Lord and Taylor gift card or credit card. I needed to get that Macy's credit card. I needed to get that.
Those ones are actually the worst for you. Retail ones. The retail ones are the worst. The Macy's, the Targets, the Nordstroms, the
Yes, sir.
whatever. Like those are the
Because they know
worst
that they
ones.
can sneak
They have
as
the
much
highest
interest and whatever
rate.
in their little policies.
Yes, 100%. They got the worst fees. They have the worst interest rates, and yeah, it's so bad, so bad. And that's where it got me.
And then, like,
it was getting all those retail ones.
I think the bullshit about credit that pisses me off is the whole, like, closure thing. If I have it open for a
What do you
couple
mean?
years,
Oh,
but
how
I
they
don't
can just
use
close
it. And the automatic
yeah.
close, and even my
I do hate
account,
that.
even my credit score takes a hit with that. It's like, so you fuck me either way. I spend the money, I have to have it, But if I don't spend the money, you still want to fuck my score a little bit. That's what pisses me off, I think, about credit. That's my most... It's one thing to spend the money and then having to pay it back and be responsible in that way. It's another thing to fucking penalize me for having your credit card open for a long-ass time and not spending the money.
So here's a little tip, because I did become, when I was out in Arkansas, I became a certified credit counselor somehow.
Nice.
Someone did.
Nice.
Wow.
Even when you pay
Something.
off a credit card, keep $5 on it. And it's for that exact reason, because like you said, it does screw if your card gets closed. Let's say you've had that card for 2 years, it closes. It now, that could be your longest running card. Having a long period of open credit is actually good for your credit. Now, not carrying a large balance on it is not, but if you just keep $5 and let's say every month you just pay $1 on it,
Spend
maybe
a little,
swipe it
yeah,
once for, an Uber ride,
a coffee or
whatever,
some
and then
bullshit,
pay
whatever.
$5 on it every month, but just keeping a small balance, not anything that's going to hurt you or anything, is actually better for you, because then it keeps that line of credit open. And it shows the creditors that you are using it. You are utilizing those.
So they won't close it at all. See, yeah, I had a Best Buy one, and they did that shit to me.
Yeah.
They closed my Best Buy.
Like, a lot of people think you should pay it off to zero. And yes, but no. Like, if you know you use your card every month, then fine, swipe it, pay it off, because you know you're going to use it again next month. But if you use it real sparingly, just keep like $5 on there and pay $1 here or $1 there, just so it shows you're making a payment. And your creditors will like that, and your credit will actually continue to grow and get better. Another one, I don't know why we became a finance show, but no free ads, but big shout out to Credit Karma. If you download the Credit Karma app, that one has been a godsend for me, helping me build my credit back up. It's a free app. It's legit. You just enter your information, and it helps you monitor your credit. It can show you all your open accounts. It can show you what needs to be paid, what's been paid. It can help you walk through getting things paid off. So if you're someone that needs help with your credit, download that Credit Karma app. Excuse me, Credit Karma app. It's a really good one. So I think it just fucks with TransUnion.
I love Credit Karma, but I'm such a fucking skeptic.
It's legit.
To have that
it's
much,
definitely legit.
I know it's legit, but to have that much fucking of your credit information just show up in one tab, and every time that app is scanning, every time you do something with your credit now, it's like, oh, there's something so unsettling about that.
It's helped me though. It took me from a 480 credit score up to I'm just under 700.
No, I believe it.
So,
that's good, bro. Fucking keep that shit up.
I'm just trying to get.
Well, that's the thing about credit.
I just want to see a 700 credit score. I haven't seen that ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's goals.
Yeah, no.
Life goals.
The highest I saw, I'll never forget it. The highest I saw, and it was 2 years in after I had gotten credit, was 660. I was like, oh, that's so nice. And the only reason why it was there is because my mom got my brother's first car under my credit. So it was she was really always good on time with payments and everything. So
good shit. See, okay, we're going to put this under this kid's name. We're going to put this under this kid's name.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, well, my mom had really bad credit, and shit happened because of the foreclosure of the house. Jersey was fucking us with, I mean, the housing market is so terrible, and we we can get into that for hours, but there's, they want you to pay off a house more than what it's fucking worth, and it's just not worth it anymore. You know what I'm saying? So my mom had stopped paying on the house, and so her credit was already slammed. I was luckily the best one with the one with the best credit in the house, and so it ended up working out. So. Well, it worked for me. I had a good score for a while until shit fucked up, so.
Until that's what happens.
Yeah, until I didn't.
Welcome to life. This is the Comfortably Poor podcast. In case you didn't know that already, the phone lines are open, 844-997-0775. Hit us up, talk to us, let us know what's on your mind on this hump day. Ask us anything.
Nessa saying the credit card.
Books.
That's the saying. The credit card should always be used as seen as a debt card. You have to repay it as soon as you use it. Otherwise, the debt will grow and grow. People use it as free money.
Definitely not free
True
money.
story,
You gotta
true story.
definitely put yourself out of that mindset. It is.
And then
it's
Sam
paid
also saying,
money,
I find that I live better with people that I don't know than I do know, as far as roommates are concerned.
Facts on that.
COVID is helping me
You
save
can really
money,
fuck
says
up
Nessa.
Friendships living with people that you know, that can really put a strain on friendships.
True story.
Hi, Hannah. Thank you so much for watching, all of you. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it.
Yes, please keep watching. Share it with your
What
family.
what did you just say, Adam? I wanted to fucking say something on that.
Probably something along the lines, credit, it's just a loan.
Oh fuck! You just said something that I wanted to fucking answer to, and I just fuck my God damn! I haven't even smoked pot yet.
No pot?
No, well, I have pot. I'm about to smoke in a second, but I just haven't smoked yet. I was
free
so
money.
engrossed in credit talk with you guys. I felt like a business podcast.
It's
Bro,
a
let's
loan.
smoke some pot.
It's yeah, I don't know, man. I forgot already too.
It's all
Welcome to the
right.
Company
Either way,
podcast.
look, no, I will tell you this. I probably at this point have maybe about $5,000, which I'm very
In debt?
lucky about.
And debt or credit?
Yeah, in debt.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
In debt. Which I'm very lucky about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never wanted to reach the double digits. That always freaked me out.
I was there.
So when it
That
comes to
freaked
debt,
me out.
when it comes to debt throughout my life, I've had pockets of debt. So there have been times where I ran my $3,000 or $4,000 credit limit up, $3,000 or $5,000 credit limit up. Right, that goes up, and then I'll pay that off over the course of a year and a half, and then it'll be fine for about 1 or 2 years, and then I'll get whatever thing it is inside of my head that it goes crazy, and I'll start spending like crazy again. And it might shoot up to $1,000, and you know what I mean? And that pattern kind of goes throughout my life. Like, that's kind of how it's always been. I get some debt, I accumulate debt, I pay it off. Nothing crazy, nothing, I've never been over $5,000 in debt. I don't think I've ever been over $4,000 in debt, honestly. But definitely never over 5,000. And I pay it off. Sometimes I have to live like a beggar, but I do. And for a time, it sucks. But then it always gets better. But credit.
Yeah.
I gotta say, that's one thing I've learned about money as I've gotten older is, man, money is so dynamic. When you have money,
For sure.
the way that you spend it and the way that you receive it and you get it back after spending so much of it, there is a fluctuating thing there with money. And that's one of the things that'll never stay constant unless you really are famous, rich, a celebrity. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like-
creating that stream of income. The only way to keep it like, what do they say? As entrepreneurs, a true successful entrepreneur should have 5 streams of income. That means 5 incomes coming from 5
5
different
ways
places.
to
Like,
get, five
That's-
ways to get some money
That's tough.
in the account.
That's hard work.
Fuck yeah,
to
it
get
is.
5 streams of income to constantly be bringing income in. Like, that's hard work. That's you
I'll
really
never
bust your
forget,
ass.
dude, my first Lyft ride. Do you guys remember your first ride share?
I do, actually. I do.
My
It's
first
funny
I
you
Lyft.
mention
actually have
that.
not
I was
used
thinking
Lyft
about that
yet.
the other
Wait,
day.
before we talk about that, do you guys prefer Lyft or Uber? Or does it just depend on
It all depends where I
so-
am.
It depends. It definitely depends.
On
but I'm
pricing.
gonna be honest. Overall, Lyft is the better experience for me. But Dan is right. It definitely depends. Like where
I've actually
there are
never
places where
used
Uber
Lyft
is
yet.
definitely better, but it's
Gotcha.
gonna be hit or miss.
So
Okay.
I've always said, a business model will act, or a company will act based off of what their business model or mission tells them, right? So I definitely agree with Brando there. Lyft, better experiences, less guide dog denials, less Middle Eastern drivers, less fucking a lot of women. And that's my point, right? So if you look up the history or you look up why these companies were put in place, Uber came after Lyft in saying that they wanted to make a technological taxi cab company, right? So all we are doing is we're just a portal to allow drivers and riders and passengers to connect. Lyft started their business model on protecting women. And that's why you probably have more positive experiences with Lyft than you do Uber. It was started on the premise of making sure that women got home safe, that if, you know, they were coming home late from work or from a bar or from a club, that you can trust into these heavily vetted and, you know, processed drivers. Because if you talk to people who work for both companies and you ask them, what's the process to get into Lyft? What's the process to get into Uber? The Lyft one is more aggressive. They want you to take pictures of every angle of your car. They want to make sure that, like, it's Lyft takes it more serious where Uber really hasn't. And another thing that a lot of people don't know about Uber and why it's not as safe as Lyft is because they only do a state background check. They don't do a national check.
Well, you
so
don't hear about murders happening on a Lyft ride. You've heard about
because they
handles,
can't.
not more murders
Yeah.
happening with Uber drivers. So that is
That guy that was shooting up people in Detroit who was driving by and killing people in the middle of taking Uber rides, he would just drop somebody off and then just start killing random people and then started picking up another ride and would deliver the ride, would do it. But then would fucking...
Yo, when I started first using
shooting.
Uber, I was out in Arkansas. And Arkansas is a small town, you know, or Little Rock is a smaller city. Excuse me. So, like, I would get a lot of the same drivers over and over again. Like, I started to know my drivers. And it was cool for me. It worked, you know. But one story that sticks out is we were out one night. I think I was still actually a client out there. I wasn't working there yet. And we went out one night, and I got hammered. And it was like 2:30 in the morning. We were catching an Uber back. And this lady comes, and there's like 6 of us. And this lady comes and picks us up in like a Toyota Camry. So we cram like 4 people in the back, and there's like 2 people sitting in the front. And I'm sitting on someone's lap in the front seat. And I'm hammered, and I'm cracking jokes. I'm on one. I'm going. And this lady, she's this dope-ass black lady. Kind of an older lady. She's cracking jokes. And come to find out, she's recording me the whole time. She picks me up like 2 months later from my house. And she remembers me. She's like, "Hey, Adam." I was like, "Hello, how are you?" She's like, "You remember me, do you?" I said, "Nope." She's like, "I picked you up over here and I got you on camera." Huh? What do you mean you got me on camera? I don't think you can do that. What do you mean? She showed me the video. Legal? I started dying laughing. Like, it was so goddamn funny. I was dying laughing. Like, yeah, it was hilarious. And she kept that video. Like, you know how many of her people she's shown that video to? Like, yo,
you know what she needs to do?
Boy, I picked up.
You need to get in contact with that lady. And we need to get this video for the comfortably.
We do. Dan is right. Dan is right. We need to do that.
That would be
Yo, look.
premium fucking viral footage right there. Do you understand me?
That would be the shit that might make us blow up. That might be the shit.
Yeah,
Hey, yo,
I'm telling you,
Does
bro.
Uber history have all your rides? I could probably.
Yes,
go
it
back.
does.
Oh, I could probably.
It
go back and
should.
find it then.
Hey, yo, but look.
sure
keep getting,
does.
right? I'm gonna just be real brief. Oh, shit. The stories.
That was
one of
pretty
the
brief.
Stories, right? Oh, I know, right? The sticks that stick out to me, right? Like, you guys know Keith in New York. You guys got to meet Keith. Keith was actually at one of the live shows, right?
The guy that's quote unquote in construction.
Yeah. Now, there's a guy just like Keith, right? Just like Keith, who I met that was an Uber driver of mine. Awesome rapport. We meet, we strike it off, we become the best of friends. I end up at his house, he ends up at my house, we end up smoking weed. I hang with his family, he hangs with my family. That sort of fucking connection. He was my Uber driver. I don't know, dude. It's weird how these things happen. Like, you're just sitting in the passenger seat one moment and you're talking about how, like, you know, you like to really just hang out in rooms where really cool music is playing with the window open and breeze blowing. And I like the sound of things that have colors and fuel names attached. Oh, do you? Yeah, I do too. You want to smoke some pot? I'd love to smoke some pot. Where'd you want to do it at? Your house or mine? Let's do it at my house. My wife's got a stash. Yeah. Uber drivers. And then Uber drivers are also the ones who deliver you food, right? So a lot of times your Grubhub or your DoorDash guy is also your dope man. So I remember one time I was in a Midwestern town visiting a friend, let's just say, and we were hungry, and it was late night, and we couldn't find anything on Uber Eats, which was pretty much everyone's go-to. So I went ahead and popped open DoorDash. And what did I find on DoorDash? I found, incidentally, a guy with some of the dankest weed I ever had. I had to tell him, dude, because like we were looking for weed, but we were looking for food more at the time. So when he showed up smelling like honey barbecue chicken and fucking Blue Kush, I definitely had to let him know that we were looking for both things. So when he dropped off the food, I told him how fucking amazing he was smelling. I took a number, and we stayed in contact. About 7 or 8 hours later, I had some Granddaddy Perp in my hands. Definitely not what I wanted. I'm a sativa man. But that Granddaddy Perp was nice to have because I didn't have any before. But yeah. Uber stories, guys. Uber stories.
Yeah, no. Look, I have my fair share. My first Lyft ride was the first time I ever used rideshare. And I was in Wisconsin. I was in Madison, Wisconsin. And I'll never forget it, man. This guy like inspired me, and I'll think back to people like him. And Adam said it when he said, you know, entrepreneurs have 5, you know, streams of income, and this guy, from what I know of, had 3 already. He was a hard-ass worker. He had his own furniture store that did well. It was one of the biggest stores in Madison. He did Lyft, and then he had something else. He had another business going on. I think he was doing something for like one of the cable companies or some shit like that. So like he was making money there. He had his furniture store, and he was doing fucking Lyft. I remember asking him how much sleep he got. He's like, yeah, I don't sleep that much, man. You know, 3, 4 hours, 5 hours. You just get up and do it again. And I'm just like, yes, like, fuck yeah. Like, that shit is beautiful to watch. There's something about that is very, very inspiring.
It's like validation. It's like something that you've been doing. There's a person who's actually extremely and obviously successful doing what you do naturally. So it's like, fuck, yeah. Yeah, I can do it. I can actually do it. I'm not alone. Yeah. We also have a podcast listener. I have a friend
on my Facebook. Her name is Elena, and she checks out our podcast. And she's a Lyft driver I had in Denver, and we got to smoking. We got to talk about smoking, and then she ended up coming through, spent a couple hours with us, smoking some bongs, and just fucking chilling. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
Bong rips.
Yeah, dude,
Kinda
it's been really cool.
transitioning a
And
little
also,
bit,
I stayed with a friend out in the
talking about,
Midwest, and we got a wax plug because of Uber. So I love it. I love it.
Not enough people are talkative. If you take a minute just to talk to people, too, like you said, like for you guys being the weed heads, everybody smokes it. So sometimes when you're in a place where it's not recreational and you can still find a plug, like just open your mouth and talk, man. That Uber driver, that Lyft driver might be the guy. You might take an Uber to go to the convenience store to grab a soda and some chips. You might talk to the dude behind the counter. Like, so many people are so like, oh, I have anxiety about talking to strangers. Fuck it, who cares? Just say hey. Spark up a
9 times
conversation.
out of 10.
It doesn't have to be so hard to talk to people.
Dude, I love that you're saying that because 9 times out, I always tell this to people. 9 times out of 10, that person feels the same way. And you're never going to you're never going to connect because
No, you're right. You're so right.
the both of you are fucking being such fucking pussies about human contact, which is so fucking normal.
Right.
Well, yeah, definitely. We're a social species, and that's the thing. It's funny because remember right after we had met Keith, you and Dan, you and Adam had talked about this, like how I'll talk to anyone, but like when traveling, a lot of people, you two included, don't like to really talk to people. Now, a lot of times I'm the same way. I really don't like to talk to people. I don't.
I tend to not
Sorry,
spark
I'm
up
gonna
a
go back on that.
conversation
Yeah.
first. I
Yeah,
will
but
talk
see,
to people, but I tend to let people come to
and
me.
being around you guys and even some other people, like I've realized how much of an extrovert I actually am. I never really realized that before. But I also realized that there's some real like ins and outs to social behavior. And so like I just like I can't help but try to fucking talk. They're interesting. People are, as much as I don't like them, and I really don't like human beings, to be honest, in a lot of ways. But they're very interesting. And, like, to listen to what they do in their other lives outside of Uber and to hear about where they're going and where they came from and who they just met or whose ass graced this seat right before mine, right? Like,
Dude,
some of the stuff that they're
that happened with me in a
saying is
cab.
just
I got to tell that story in a second.
fascinating. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
But I agree. I know. No, a couple things. One, I will agree with Brando there because I don't. There are just some people sometimes who are. It's not the vibe. I don't really want to fucking talk to you for sure. But most of the time, I am gonna say something like, how's your day? How long you been doing this for? You know what I'm saying? And that generally sparks up a conversation. And sometimes I've gotten into some of the best debates, political debates with guys who really know what the fuck they're talking about.
Absolutely.
People who know music, guys that have come off like, trips like you just said, where they have been. And I told this story on the podcast before, but I'll share it again. And then I want to read a couple of comments. There was a guy from Iraq that Sam and I had one time about 4 years ago. And he knew not a lick of English. He fucking, it was very, very broken. But when we hopped into the car, we realized what was playing, and it was like those cassettes to teach the citizenship. So he can take the citizenship test, which already impressed me because it's like, I love to see that you're grinding. You know what I'm saying? Like there was something so dope about that. Well, then we asked him about his story.
You're here to take it serious. You're here to be an American.
Yes.
Really be an American.
Bootstrap shit.
Yeah.
You want to fucking work your ass off? You understand what it is to be here? Yeah, you understand what it is to be here, so you gotta fucking put in the work. And when I find people that put in the work, no matter fucking what, yo, I fucking big them up. Crazy. So, then, this shit hits you when you ask the guy, yo, what's your story? You know what I'm saying? How long have you been in America?
I love that. I phrase that question just like that when I want to know. I just say, "What's your story? Like, tell me your story." And
yeah.
They always go, "Huh? What do you mean?" Like,
all my man could figure out to say was, I'm refugee. My family went boom.
Damn.
This man
That's crazy.
said that to us to tell us his whole family was fuck up in Iraq. Blown the fuck up. And that shit.
It kind of puts it in a weird perspective when you hear just say too, like, just go boom. Like, whoa. Okay.
My family went boom.
Like, how do you react?
I'm refugee.
How do you,
I fucking my eyes were wide, bro. I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's his reality. We wake up here, we have fucking bullshit, fucking expensive ass burnt coffee. We have fucking some garbage ass fucking little breakfast sandwiches, and we go about our day, we do business. This fucking guy has to run from his country after his family went quote unquote boom. It makes you think crazy ways, man. So I gained a lot of respect for the refugees and the people that come here and they work their fucking ass off from anywhere, the Middle East, from Africa, and fucking do whatever they need to do. You know what I'm saying? To fucking work hard. Sam says, we all have really awful experiences in these ride-sharing services, but what was the funniest or just weirdest experience that you had in an Uber or Lyft? Hannah says, I'm super shy when traveling. I won't talk to anyone unless it's important. I sometimes I feel kind of awkward being in somebody's car and not talking to them, like especially if they are a talkative person. It's like, well, at least they're trying, Like there's some people that just don't even fucking try.
Yeah.
And it's different, like, because we talked about using the paratransit service. Man, those guys couldn't talk. I would want to fucking talk somebody's ear off too if I was driving a fucking bunch of retards around all day.
But when I do, I just pop my headphones in. I don't want to talk to nobody on those things.
But I don't want to talk to anybody on that fucking bus because I don't even want to be here. At least when I pay for my Uber or Lyft, I want to sit on that plush seat.
No. I want the paratransit drivers are hilarious, bro. Like I talk to them all the time, bro. Like no matter who it is,
but you
I always talk
to everybody again.
Yeah, exactly.
Me and this one guy.
Yeah, you said
me and this one paratransit driver. We're talking about the housing market. That's all the guy knew about. So anytime I would see him, we would just talk about how terrible the housing market was in Jersey, how property taxes are shit. I don't know a lick of this. I haven't paid a property tax in my life.
But I feel like I'll bullshit people too. Like if I do start talking to somebody, like I lie through my teeth about everything. Like there was a dude that was just obsessed with cryptocurrency. Like so obsessed with it. And he's been talking to me about it. And I know a little bit about it. But I was like, yeah, bro, this house you just picked me. Yeah, cryptocurrency, boy. This just paid off, dude. I hit it big. I got in on crypto like 10 years ago. I bought it when it was like 2-3 cents. And he's like, what? You're like the guy that bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin? I was like, that's kind of me. Yeah, like this house is paid off. Like, everything, bro. Like, I don't do shit. I don't work, bro. I'm good. These brand new Nikes, that shit was paid with cryptocurrency, homie. He got so like, So you're a success story. So it's real. It's real. Cryptocurrency is real. I was like, how you play it. I was like, you're crazy. You're nuts. Like
Man,
too. Like I love telling people too. Sometimes I'll get into a good story with them. Like if I'm sparking up a good conversation.
and gullible is a made-up word, you cocksucker.
Yeah, like.
It's not in the dictionary, you fucking prick.
Like, I've been, I lost my sight just 5 years ago, and before that, I was an indie race car driver. Like I was in the amateur race car, had a bad accident. Like I've made up some of the craziest stories. Like, yeah, I worked in chemical. I was a chemical engineer. I had a chemical spill. Got some battery acid in my face. I'm blind. Like the craziest stories I've told people. Like if I don't want to talk to you and I'm forced to, then you're gonna get an earful, dude. You're gonna hear a hell of a story. I'm gonna walk out of your car, and the next person you pick up, you're gonna be like, "Yo, I just had this crazy guy in my car."
Dude, yeah, you're the reason. You're the fucking reason that like I run into drivers who are like, "I just met this fucking blind guy. He's a stockbroker.
He was fucking. He's a cryptocurrency success story. He's a wild man. I never heard of this bitch ass nigga.
7 houses in 7 states, and he's done 7 different things in 7 different parts of the world." Like, dude, that was
shout out to my man. Shout out to our man Jay Remy. My man Jeremy is in the fucking chat.
Holy shit!
He said, "I swear to God, yeah, bro. When me and Danielle first moved to North Carolina, we met our first plug on DoorDash when we ordered Chick-fil-A. Hell yeah, baby! Bring over that gate-killing chicken and fucking."
I told you.
Got a
see what I mean.
Can't go wrong with that.
We
That sounds like a good day right
also
there.
became good friends, and he would go pick me up, and we would go on DoorDash runs.
Sick ass shit. Yo, reminds me of my taxi cab driver Patrick when we would just drive around the city picking up his fares and dropping them off. Me in the front seat with an e-cig and him in the driver's seat just driving around and shit, dude. That's what we would do in Raleigh. Yep. God, I love North.
Yes, sir.
A lot.
Yeah, I hear it's a dope time out there. I gotta definitely head out to North Carolina at some point. Check it out.
North Carolina is right. It's the place to be.
I was only there for a short time and it wasn't fun.
Really?
That's for a whole other reason, though. We won't get into that on the live stream.
Yeah, let's not. No.
What'd you do, nigga?
We're not talking about that.
Oh, okay. My man said that nigga's that nigga's face was at a cop's groin with some fucking cuffs on his wrist, nigga.
Hey, I wanted to back this up though, because we were talking about multiple streams of income. Have you guys ever tried your hand at any of those like
streams of
pyramid
cum
schemes, but like multi-level marketing type things that you see around? Like, have you guys ever tried to get into anything like that? Like the biggest.
My
one is
cousin
like
always tried to get me.
Amway was one.
Yeah,
Is like
okay,
the
no.
biggest one.
My cousin tried to do that fucking kind of bullshit with me. The World Ventures.
Okay, what is that one?
That one is one of those multi-level marketing schemes that deals with travel agencies.
Okay.
So like you pay in, you build up people under you, and they build
like
up
a
people
travel
under
agent?
them. Not in a sense, yes, but like
Okay.
you get all these discounts. It's kind of like a wholesale for tickets. It's a wholesale for travel tickets. So cruises, planes, hotels, experiences, concerts, shit like that. But more so they dealt with like cruises, flights, hotels, and shit like that. And you would build the team of 10 under each person. So you would have like,
But you had to build that
the
10,
goal,
right? Like you had to find.
You had to build that 10. You had to, yes.
Yeah.
You had to have people on your right and people on your left. and all the
Yeah,
success stories
yes.
from it, and the
That's how
cars,
they
and the
get
fucking
you.
this and the that.
Yep.
And that's where they get you. But the amount of money that you have to pay in without the guarantee is so sketchy.
So that goes back
it's
to like
true.
what I was saying, why I was bringing that up, and then you know, what you need to say, Brando. It's a grind because I did one like 10, 15 years ago. I did the Amway one, and Amway was kind of one of the first multi-level that people thought to be a pyramid scheme. And it was when it first came out, it was like the door-to-door selling you soap and laundry soap, and you know that's how it started. Then it evolved into like a nutrition brand and a makeup brand, and it partnered with like all these other stores, which made it even bigger. Like it partnered with Best Buy, it partnered with Macy's, it partnered with you know, AT&T, and basically you same thing. You build a team. You have to build your what they call downline, and as you got more successful and built a bigger downline, and your downline got more successful, you saw more numbers, they saw more numbers, they saw more money, they saw bigger paychecks. But you were also selling product. Like you had to push the nutrition bars, the
Yes.
supplements, the beauty products.
Okay,
They
yeah.
had everything.
See-
you got a full website, and
That
I saw a lot of success stories, but it was such a grind. You really had to give it 24/7. Like
and,
I'd
and
go to
that,
these
that, that,
conventions
that was
and
my
people slept
question.
for like 2 hours.
That
Yeah.
that was my question to both of you guys. Like, are you guys talking about? And it sounds like in the last few seconds, in the last few minutes there, Adam, like moments, you were describing like what my question was like. Is it where you pretty much have to? Someone says that you have to go out and make other people buy so and so,
Yes.
and then
yes,
and
you're
then
trying
they
to get
buy
other
it,
people
and
to
then
buy into
that
it.
you
with-
become a certain
know.
type of director, and then when the people that you sell it to, they have to then buy it. They become a certain type of director, and they have to sell it
well,
to
it's
more
not so
people.
much a director.
No.
as-
I'm referencing from my own
But he's just-
experience doing it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like in my experience doing it, that's
there's
how
still
they
that build. Like you
moved
pretty much
up the
become the leader,
ranks.
and then they become leaders.
Yeah, exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
because
you
you
become
Just because
a
they bought
leader
into the
become a
product.
part of-
just because they
Yes.
bought in
They become a part of
exactly,
your
exactly.
team, but they need to
yeah,
build
yeah.
their own
And
team
you
as
have
well.
to sell an idea, or you have to sell a concept, or whatever this
Right.
is,
But
to
the
people
the
under
one
you.
upside to
And,
like
you-
Amway,
and the more people you sell it to, the more powerful you become. And those people sell it
Kind
to
of.
people.
Yes, but
Yeah,
no.
well, that's
yes,
usually
but no. Because
how
see,
it
that's
works
where it
from
made
my
Amway
experience.
different, and that's why people always assumed Amway was a pyramid scheme, and that's technically not what it is. It is multi-level marketing, but a pyramid scheme is always the guy at the top always makes more than the guy on the bottom. The guy on the bottom works his ass off and just keeps getting the guy on the top. His pockets get fatter. That's technically a pyramid scheme. The guy on the bottom will never make more than the guy on the top. Multi-level marketing is, I might bring you in, Brando. You work harder than I am. You can make 100 times more money than I do, but I'm still your top level guy. Like I'm still above
Right,
you. That's
right.
kind of
But
more
see,
multi-level
yeah, so
marketing.
here's the thing, right? Here's the problem, right? That was the whole thing. Like, that's the problem with the whole concept of what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know if I'm talking
Right.
about legal pyramid scheming or multi-level. I'm just talking that what I was describing is what I'm talking about. You buy into a concept, and the more people
Yeah.
you get to buy in, the more powerful you become, and the more people they get to buy in, the more powerful they become. So that right,
In a
but
sense,
that
yes.
right, yeah, but see that right there is exactly like that is the grind that you're talking about. Do you know how exhausting it is to try to sell that shit? And you have to believe in it. Like, most of that shit is stupid.
I was
shit
about
that-
to say.
It's cell phone service. It's
Yes.
electricity. It is gas.
Yes.
It's clothes. It's stupid
But look,
shit.
we're saying that, but is that
I don't-
really that difficult? What if all of this was real and that grind? And I
No,
did
no, no.
see it.
Bro,
I mean,
bro,
I saw
here's the thing,
people
right?
have
No,
that
No, it's
success.
real.
No,
It's
there's
real.
two
So
things.
is the
No, no.
success 2 years
Hang
of
on.
your life grinding for
No. It's two things.
successful career?
No, it's not a bad thing if A, you believe in it, or B, it's something that really helps people. There's nothing wrong with selling electricity or gas service. those two things are something very beneficial. But if you're a person who's out here just, let's say, for example, you're selling T-shirts, you know what I mean? Let's say it's something stupid. That's not helpful. You know what I mean? Like, you can make a lot of money selling clothing. But just because you can make a lot of money selling clothing doesn't mean that the people who, especially people who are at the bottom or even the mid-level, are going to be very motivated to sell this shit. The people who are selling things like crazy, the real salesmen are either very motivated because people are buying their product and people need it and there's a drive, or they really believe in the product, even if people don't buy it. You know what I mean? Like, people don't buy martial
Sam said my
arts
mom
like
did
that.
Salt City Candles, and I feel like most of my friends got into Mary Kay or Avon, and that's a really popular one, right?
Avon's huge. I love it. I buy Avon even. I like Avon.
We know, Brando.
That's successful.
We heard you
That's
before.
That's successful pyramid scheming, buddy.
No, but
Successful
see,
pyramid
no.
scheming.
Yeah, for mom.
Like we
But
know,
here's the thing.
like Avon is a household name. If you're gonna compare Avon to pyramid schemes, Avon's a household name.
I compare Avon to moms. That's all. I just hear mom. That's all.
Okay.
I mean, I think
okay.
you might be thinking of Mary Kay. Avon, I picture Mary Kay to.
I never saw anybody.
Mary Kay and Avon are very parallel.
Right.
And
I never saw
Avon
anybody
is
do
kind of a little bit of everything. I think they're well known for like perfumes and colognes and stuff. Kind of is what got them jump started. But then
And you
they're
think
kind of
Mary
like
Kay
Amway in a
is-
sense that you can get just about anything from Avon, like anything like household type stuff.
So
Mary
here's
Kay
the
is
thing.
definitely
I
Mary Kay
wanna-
for the ladies.
I want to focus on what Brando said earlier
did-
because
did-
he literally made a point for what I was going to say about selling these products. I think the lack of motivation for me in trying to sell a product is the fact that it's not mine. It's not something that I came up with. It's not something that I developed that I can totally sell you on. I'm given talking points and then I have to fill in the personality.
Well, I think
Do you care
I
enough
think you have to be on board
to sell
do
this
it.
bullshit?
If you're going to start getting into it, you've already done your due diligence. You've already vetted the product. You're on board with the product. I don't think you would
Yes.
be pushing the product if you didn't
Yes.
actually believe in it. You wouldn't.
But
have
I
bought
think,
into the
don't you
company.
think at this point, I got a question for you though. Don't you think at this point, because of people knowing how some of these companies work, like the Avons, the Mary Kays, and the Amways and all that stuff, like these things, don't you think it becomes eventually like it's become popularized enough to know what the scheme and what this company delivers? So how many people are really buying into it?
A lot.
Brando, you're one out of very many people, like very few people that I've ever heard buys Avon. And I don't know anybody else who purchases Avon.
Okay,
Oh, I know
let me ask you a
like,
question. Let me ask you
personally.
let me ask you a question. Little test thing. How many people do you know buy Lear jets?
Sure, but if we're talking about a popular marketing situation, a popular marketing scheme,
How popular
don't you
is
think
it that you?
eventually-
But the point in popularity is that you know what a Lear jet is. You also know what Avon is. We know what
And there's 7 billion people in the world, and this is a
right,
worldwide
but we
company.
don't have to buy either one of these things for us to for them to be successful enough for them to know who they are, and who they are is a pretty
I
good
guess
sign of their successfulness, for lack of a better word.
I guess if you look at the way that things are perceived, right? Like just being in entertainment, always looking at stuff through entertainment, the hip hop industry,
Pop
the way
culture
that
as a
technology
whole.
rapidly changes.
If you want to just throw an
No, but
umbrella
what-
over it and call it pop culture, hip hop industry, R&B industry,
Okay,
music
fine.
industry,
Pop culture, yeah, okay.
Hollywood, all of it.
Yeah, fine. Okay. So like knowing that kind of shit is in a sense tangible. You get what I'm saying? Like if
But
a
think
motherfucker
of it-
fails, a motherfucker
Sorry, go ahead.
fails.
Right.
So
Right.
like it's safe. Sometimes I would say it's safe to assume that, you know what I'm saying? If you were to go on, and sure, there's 7 billion people, and how many people are on social media, right? Like, out of those 7 billion people, and if we were to take a
but
page
my
and
question-
say how many people like an Avon page, okay, let's say there's, I don't know, 100-something thousand. Out of those 100-something thousand, how many people are actually buying shit?
But look, here's the thing, dude. This is the best comparison for it. You remember how Eminem was like this little white dude, and then he got big? You remember how he was big for a while, and then he started to, people were like, what the fuck?
Get hate.
Remember how, and then people were like, what the fuck? And then people were like, geez, he's getting old. And then people were like, geez, what the fuck, he's getting old. You see how it progresses?
Yeah.
Avon is no different. Avon is
But
no
let me-
different.
I got
Back
you.
in,
I
back
got
in the
you.
90s, but hang on. Back in the 90s, people were going door to door selling it. It was a big thing. That's what the reason people know about it today. People know about Avon because Avon, even if you, let's just go ahead and say that Avon isn't successful. Let's just go ahead and say that. I don't believe that, but let's go ahead and say that Avon
No,
is not.
I don't. I'm not
successful.
saying it's not. I'm just saying.
No. I get you. But
I think the
I'm saying
popularity
this-
died down.
No, it did. I agree.
From what
The
it was-
popularity died down, but for whatever it is, there's a reason that Avon has internet sites today. There's a reason that Avon has a client base today that's notable. Not even like a client base that's barely holding on. A notable client base that still buys Avon products today. Avon hasn't fallen off. Avon, it's not like Avon lost track of the 2000s. Avon is a thing today. People are selling Avon today.
So that's
Everybody's on your side, Brando. Everybody's on your Nessa, Sam. Everybody's like, no, it's super popular. Everybody, there's a lot of people
And it is.
that buy into it.
And you know, our listenership, most of those people in the chat probably are more your guys' age. And Avon has been around since I don't even know when, like the 70s, 80s,
Time
maybe even
immemorial.
before
Yeah,
then.
yeah. It's been around for a
So
long time.
it's
let's just say.
definitely an older population, an older generation. The
Yes.
Gen Y, Gen Z era. Avon
It's,
probably
yeah.
is
My
not
mo- it was
a
my
real
mom's thing.
It's
My mom
definitely-
bought Avon.
Yes. And if you had a family member that did Avon, you know, like
My
Brando,
mom
you know,
sold
your
for
mom did it,
Avon
so
for
you-
like a very short period of time. That's what I'm saying. Like,
The
it just
mother,
reminds
the
me
mother,
of moms
the
because I don't know
mother of my
anybody else.
child. The
But
mother of
most
my
people that are
child
probably
sold
your
for
age, Dan,
Avon.
aren't 100% on board with Avon, or probably don't even know about Avon just because it's not your demo. You're not their demo necessarily. So you
I
really
just
have
don't
to
see
stumble
niggas
across
from
it.
Patterson rocking some Avon. That's all. And I
Exactly.
think that's what it is. I think it's all culture too.
It is culture, bro. A lot of it's culture, bro, and a lot of it's women culture. which is
Boom,
like most of
boom.
the
Yeah,
people who are
Sam's
using
saying in the
it are gonna be
comments, I'm
female.
Hispanic. You're not going to really see a lot of that stuff. And it's all
In
culture. It's all
2018,
rooted in culture and
Avon
stuff.
still did $5.5 billion in sales.
Holy mother of God.
This for me at this point. This for me is a mic drop moment. So I'm gonna drop this.
So Avon is still crushing. Still crushing.
Good for them. Good for them. I can't hate on the fucking hustle, man.
No.
Fuck it.
And again,
I
it's
stand
multi-level
corrected. I
marketing.
stand corrected.
It's
Fuck
the
it.
people want to be their own boss. They want to find a way to make money while being at home with the kids, and Avon is one of those ways. People can build their website, build their company, build their brand, go out, talk to people, get other people on board, and that's Avon. Avon and Amway are one of the original multi-level marketing companies that could allow people to stay home.
I
and
just feel,
make
you know what it
living.
is? I'm just bitter towards other people. This is going to sound fucking hilarious, but like when I know how those shits work, right? Like when you know how it fucking works, when you know how Avon is sold, when you know how I appreciate the grind from the mom, but like there's still something in me when I see some bullshit on Facebook, people trying to sell some shit. people trying to get you to like a page and get you to buy something on that page. I still, and it's like that level marketing shit too. It's like, Brando, you and I had a friend that did it for some time that was doing like aromatherapy shit.
That's another one. Those Scentsy smell good type shit. The candles and plug-in. Scentsy is another one like Avon.
And then some other stuff that does vitamins and all this stuff. And
yeah.
But that's my point. Like I think for me personally, when I know that it comes from one of these companies, I just feel something so, I don't know, like off about it. I just don't feel like I should put into it. Just because,
can
like,
I let me vouch for Dan to say that there are a lot of companies that roll in the same sort of lanes, if you will, as Avon and a few others that kind of have given people who hang out in those same quarters a bad name.
yeah.
So there are reasons to be suspicious of people who are offering things that are. But
once you know when it works, once you know how it works. Like if I never heard of Avon or if I never heard of these companies before, and they tried to sell me on it, and they're a good salesperson, they give me a good sales pitch, I might buy into it, right? But because I know there's something about me knowing that kind of makes me feel skeptical sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Right. Well,
what the fuck is this for, my nigga? Like, what the fuck is this for? They'll let anybody in.
Of it. You should definitely be skeptical of it. But remember,
at least I know when I go to a store, they've been vetted through an interview process. You know what I'm saying? Background checked. Like somebody who's probably who knows what the fuck they're selling. You know what I'm saying? Like they haven't just been taught. Like they actually studied computers. So I'm going to a person who fucking knows about goddamn Apple. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a little more trust there is what I'm saying. If I know that they've been vetted than somebody just signing up, receiving some products, figuring out how to sell this, right? Like, I think there's just something a little more comforting there for me. But I don't knock the hustle. I think the hustle's amazing. And like you said, Adam, the mom's thing I think is pretty, you want a flexible schedule, you want to pick up your kids, all that shit, fuck it.
I would say the scale goes in both directions. Like, as far as people being, if you're trying to go for something extremely difficult, and if you're trying to go for something extremely easy, and then the other direction, like if you're trying to do something extremely, I guess you could say more numbers involved. I mean, like the same thing applies. I always the thing that I always caution people against is being stuck in our own box too much. I know things are not always the way I see them. I know things are definitely.
I'm not laughing at you, bro. I'm laughing in the comments. Shay is saying she sees where I'm coming from a little bit. Avon is worldwide, says Nessa. It's not just.
No, yeah, I got my last
door to
Avon
America.
shipment in Australia. That was my last Avon shipment. My last Avon shipment was in Australia.
Yeah, I mean, you're not necessarily doing $5.5 billion staying just here in the States. You're worldwide.
No, of course not.
No, yeah, I didn't think that was just here.
Yeah.
But what's the next thing, Adam? What's the next thing on the agenda? Because I thought we had it.
I don't know. We didn't do a lot of prep for the show. I woke up this morning thinking it was Tuesday. I saw that 12 hundo hit my bank account this morning, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
My man, his brain was thrown off this morning. He was like, whoa. It was like he got head.
Yeah.
You know when a nigga's a little disoriented after he got some really good sex? That's what the check did to him. He gave him the afterglow. Don't you hear the extra smile on fucking Adam's face?
9970775. If you want to join the phone lines, #comfortably poor on Twitter. Talk to us, tell us about anything. I put out on Twitter, share something funny with us. Make us laugh today. Get us through this hump day. Maybe you got a funny high school story, college story, family gathering, something hilarious that happened that you want to share with us. Hit us up on the phone lines again, 844-997-0775. And we'll just keep it rolling here. See what we can come up with.
All right, yo. All right, we'll do this. Fuck it.
Oh wait,
I'm loading up this,
I meant to ask. I wanted to ask this question like weeks ago, and I forgot to. Or maybe we did. I
What's
just
up,
don't
buddy?
remember the answer. So, I heard it again this morning. Where does your no? Wait, we did talk about this actually. Do you guys keep peanut butter in the cupboard or the fridge?
Cupboard.
Did we talk about this?
I keep it.
Cupboard
the
if
first
I have
one.
it, but I normally
I don't say that word, but yeah, in the first one, yeah.
Cupboard. You don't say cupboard. What do you say?
I
Pantry.
fucking hate that word. No, I hate that word too.
What the fuck do you say? The shelves? You keep it in the box on the wall?
Cabinet?
Oh my. Cabinet.
Those aren't
Cabinet?
the same.
Yeah.
Those aren't the
keep
same
it in the
things
cabinet.
though. Like those are different.
Put it up in the
so
cabinet.
A
I
pantry
get
is like a walk-in kitchen.
A pantry is the fucking the
Yes.
room,
A pantry.
the
is,
little room.
Yeah, a pantry's the
Yes.
little room, right? The walk-in kitchen closet.
Right.
A cabinet is a cabinet. It's a little door over a compartment, right? A cupboard and a cabinet are pretty synonymous. So, if
pretty
you're,
much the
I
same.
keep
As
my,
West
I
Coast
don't put
versus
my
East Coast
peanut
travel.
butter in the refrigerator at all. If I own peanut butter.
Yeah, I don't.
that was
I don't put
something
my
that I
peanut butter in the
saw
When, when
refrigerator.
I
chat
grew
that I
up,
was on.
when I grew up, peanut butter was in the pantry, but I don't own a pantry, so I probably would keep it in the cabinet because that's just the way I was taught.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. Because cold peanut butter, that just tears the shit out of your bread. What fucking psychopath
It's-
is keeping their peanut butter in the refrigerator?
Yeah, it makes it tough to spread. It's just but
Yeah.
it's not
100%.
feasible. It's
All right, we
stupid.
can move on.
And
I saw
it's
that
fucking
earlier.
peanut
And
butter. All right, that's fine.
Wanted to get you guys.
Well, it's good to know. At least we know where we are.
I had this question
sorry,
written
go
down. And funny enough, I just saw a fucking clip of Joey Diaz sharing a story about him doing this. So, hooking up with the homie's sister. Or just for the people out there, hooking up with the sibling of your friend or your best friend. Are we giving a thumbs up to that, or are we kind of bypassing on that? Are we?
Oh boy, this is intense.
Yeah, nigga. Yeah, nigga. I knew it. I'm trying to bring some heat.
I don't see a problem with it.
I'm trying to bring
I
the
don't-
burner to the party, nigga.
Well, no. I mean, if you're
if
just
your sister is legit, and I think that. I mean, I'm your boy. You know who I am. You probably know a lot of shit about me, but if I'm not trying to just run through her and be a fucking douche to your sister, then you shouldn't have any problem with it. But if you know that I'm a straight dog, then maybe you would have a problem with it. But if it was my sister, I mean, and if I knew it was one of you fuckers, step back. Step back. Not happening. You dirty motherfuckers can find pussy somewhere else.
He's like, not my sister, motherfucker.
Touch my sister.
You're not gonna make her a dirty whore. Oh
But-
yeah, I will.
So I think it depends. I think it depends on which homie it is. Like you got homies that are cool and got their shit together, down to earth. Ain't trying to run through. She wouldn't just be a
Look.
number on the bedpost. So you got to.
I know niggas. I'm a nigga, and I know niggas. I'm not really close to my half sisters like that, so I don't really give a fuck. They have babies and all that bullshit, so congratulations. But if I had a close sister, fuck all you niggas. I don't give a fuck how nice you are. I don't give a fuck if I've seen you with with your girls and you've been I don't trust don't trust niggas.
What if your boy was one of them ones like, you know, everybody's got that scholar homie that put himself through law school or doctor or whatever, you know, it's still the homie that did a lot of fuck stupid with you as a teenager,
Look,
but just
you know,
shit together. Like
we've had
yo.
conversations before about like on the other side of this, like jealousy about exes and shit like that, and your homie dating your ex and stuff. When it all comes down to it, they're adults and they can do whatever the fuck they want. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And I honestly don't know if I would be. I don't think
You don't have
I
to
would
feel
be
comfortable about it. I would
Yeah,
definitely
but
say
that's the
that.
thing.
I
But
probably
I
wouldn't be
also
comfortable
wouldn't.
about
But
it.
that exactly. I might not feel comfortable about it, but I also am not gonna be a little punk ass bitch and be like, like fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna be a little fucking bitch.
Yeah,
So-
I honestly,
Not
I
gonna be a
honestly
little
am
fucking
not.
bitch.
I'm not gonna be one
Yeah,
of these people
dog.
who's gonna. Dude, look. These are two adults. These are two
Exactly.
adults who want to participate in an act. I I shudder to think that I'm going to dive into the idea of what it's like for one of my mates and my sister to get in bed and fuck in the sheets like that. That's not going to be a picture that runs through my head. That's not a a video that I'm trying to watch, right? I like
So what if your boy comes to you the next
Like-
day
like-
and is
like,
like,
may-
yo,
maybe in
I
an-
straight
maybe in an
killed the
academic
pussy
sense.
last night. Yo, I slayed it. Some of the best pussy I ever had. And you're like, oh, really? Yo,
See,
that's
I would
dope.
be
Who
like, no,
was it? He's
nigga,
like,
nigga.
yo,
See,
it's
I-
You know
see,
not to
I
say
don't-
that
no,
shit.
no, the-
See, my homie knows not
no,
to
no,
say
no.
that shit to
No,
me.
see, so there's two. See, that's the thing. Like, there's two sides of me. One side of me says, "Yo, I don't want to hear anything about it because it's my sister." The other side of me about it is a lot more clinical and a lot more academic. I want to hear about it because maybe he could show me something I didn't know before. Maybe my sister knows some skills that my girl could learn. Like like it just depends. Like it's not always. I don't always. I know how I work, and I know that one side of me is one way, but the other side of me is definitely.
I
the
love
other
you.
way.
You're a sick
And
fuck.
it just depends. It just depends. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do know that one thing I'm not gonna do. What I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna try to encourage my friend not to fuck my sister, and I'm not gonna encourage my sister not to fuck my friend. What I might tell, depending on the person, the male in question, I might tell him that my sister is a certain way, and depending on, and not even depending on, but definitely pretty much constantly. I'm going to tell my sister about the male in question. Not even about my opinions on him, but what other people say. And after she has an opinion about what other people say, I'll give my own personal opinion. But a lot of it is just Dan. It's interesting that Dan brought up jealousy, because it's interesting that that's something that people don't want to admit either. People don't want to admit that. A lot of what boils down to why dads have to polish guns in front of their daughters' first dates, and why brothers have to beat up the first dates of their sisters or the boyfriends of their sisters or whatever it happens to be. A lot of why that's a thing is because of jealousy. And people don't want to admit that, but that's a lot of why that happens.
They don't want to attach the word to it.
That's almost 100% of why
Yeah.
that happens. But that is exactly what goes on, and it's weird to me because I've got 5 sisters, and they all fuck. Some of them fuck men and women, and like they all have no problem getting down. Like they do it. They do it well. You know what I mean? Like.
How do you know this? Like, what do you mean? they
Because
do it
I
well?
grew up with them. What do you mean? Well, what well is a
I mean,
word. Adam, don't get too horny, bro. Holy jeez. Oregon is coming out to play. The peninsula is sticking out from the coast. The coast.
I think what Adam is trying to say here, though. I think what Adam is trying to say here is that it's wrong. It's so wrong.
Well is a relative statement. Well isn't supposed to mean that one watched. It's supposed to mean like
it's a joke, people. Jesus Christ.
I know. I know. That's why I started. Well, I know it's a joke. That's why I started making another one about Oregon and the peninsula and your dick. But yeah, no, it's.
Whoa.
Depends how hot the sibling is. Sam says my best friend's siblings are not hot at all.
True story. True story.
Shay says, I see why you call it a cabinet. It was always just a cabinet to me. Like, I don't know.
Again, I think it's probably, we've talked about this before, it's regional things.
Cupboard.
Like soda versus pop. Pop is like a Midwest, East Coast
That's
thing.
a Midwest thing. Pop, yep. That's Chicago, baby.
Yeah.
75th, Nick.
What happens between me and the sibling stays between me and the sibling. Yeah, but it's going to come up. Shout out to you, Sam, for that comment. But it's going to come up.
I actually agree with that sentiment. What stays between...
I agree, though, too.
Me and the sibling stays between me and the sibling. And
I was going to say that earlier, but I was thinking to...
Behind. Sorry.
I was thinking to myself that you know, one of the things I would say about if I was going to go for the homie sister is I wouldn't want to have to talk to him about it. I would rather us do it on the DL. I mean, and then the nigga finds out, you know what I'm saying? Then we dap it up when we talk about it. But like to have to go to him and approach him and be like, yo, I'm really interested in your sister, and I know things might be weird because you and I are homies, and I don't want you to think a wild way.
Do you have to do that, though?
But that's my point. Like, is that the protocol? Is that what you need to do?
As adults, no. I mean, I guess maybe you should just give a little heads up, but
if it's your like best friend, your homie, your best friend.
No, I'm not. I'm
like
not
the nigga you call up all the time.
I might be like, if I'm talking to a sister on the DL behind his back a little bit and things start getting to the next level, I might hit him up and be like, yo, I'm talking to your sister. Things are going well.
See, I thought y'all niggas was going to say the protocol is that you got to talk to the homie because of what you were originally saying, Adam and Brando. So I was like, fuck it. Like, if I have to face the homie, then I'm not even going to try to fucking hook up with any sisters. But if I could just hook up with her on the down low and if she's minding her business, I'm minding my business, we doing the damn thing, then I don't want to have to approach the nigga. There's no need. I'm an adult. So he don't need to know where my penis is going.
Like, you want to bend his sister over and not tell him about it. Like,
I'm trying.
That's the dirty dog.
But that's the thing. But hold. See. It's not even because I'm trying to fucking pound her out. It's not because I'm trying to treat her like a savage and give her facials. I'm just trying to fucking say.
Trying to give her that Avon cream.
Yeah, bro. I'm giving this protein, baby, homemade. All right, straight from under. You know what I mean? But look, here's the thing. It's not even that. It's just that I don't want the questions. I think one of the biggest things, and this is one of my biggest flaws in life, is I try to do things in order for me to get out of getting questioned. And like, I know it's a faulty thing of mine. And I know it's definitely, it's not a good trait. I just feel like so many questions that are asked when people are upset or are bothered by something are irrational. So I just get annoyed. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not even questions that make sense. It's not questions that mean a fucking thing. You're just asking because you're heavily emotional. You're not thinking about what you're asking. And so I hate having to answer questions from people when they're bothered about shit. I hate having to do it. Unless you're coming from a rational place and you have a a set of questions that make sense, and you're not going to ask me the same question 5 different times, then fine, I'll have a conversation with you and we can keep this shit going. We can learn something from each other and take away something. But if you're just acting irrational because you're just emotional about shit, then I can't. I lose the patience. So I try to get out of getting questioned a lot.
Dan hates
A lot.
confrontation.
And not confrontation. I love confrontation,
Well,
actually. I welcome it.
Heated confrontation, I think you love because you want to get mouthy.
Well, not mouthy.
People,
I want to.
tell
No. I want to
your
see
thoughts and opinions and what you think about them.
There's that, but I want to see the speed in your brain and how fast you can get back at me.
Right.
Like I love verbal fucking competition. I love knowing that your brain works as fast as mine to either be funny. Like, I love giving people credit for being funny and giving people credit for like throwing me off my game. So one of my biggest things is like that people are like, man, you laugh hard as shit when you laugh hard. Yeah, because if I think something is really fucking funny, I'm gonna let you know it's funny. I'll never give you that fake laugh. I'll never. Like, I will call you you're bombing, you're a piece of shit, you suck, you're not funny. I'll say all that shit before I give you a fucking fake ass laugh. 1000%. I'm not for the faint of heart, my friends. Comments.
Again, 844-997-0775. Phone lines are open if you want to call in and be a part of the show.
Michigan, too. I think Shay is talking about pop. She hates the word pop. It's a different story if you're dating the sister and not just sleeping with her. See,
I just kind of lump it all together. Dating, fucking.
I lump it all together.
Look, if you're dating,
because if I'm trying to dog his sister out, too, I'm not trying to have that conversation either.
We're not 14 and taking each other to the movies anymore. We're, a couple dates in, you're fucking. Let's be real.
No, 2 dates. And if she's a good girl, a first fucking date. God damn it, she already knows me. I already come through the crib. We had hot dogs and burgers together.
She's a good girl, and that's at on Twitter. Feel free. Let him know how you feel about that.
See, it's you niggas who try to point it out to get me in trouble. You know what I'm saying? You could have just let it pass as a homie, but you want me to fail. You want my house to be burnt down.
That's why I love this show. Hey, what are you guys doing about the haircut situation during this quarantine?
Yo,
Bro.
Thank you so much for
like
bringing that up. Oh my God, what the fuck is
I'm a New York cab driver right now,
because
baby.
I need a favor, bro. What to do? I need some help, please. Someone help me.
My name is Abdullah.
I fucking shaved my head the other day.
Abdullah.
It was too long.
Wait. What do you mean?
I've never had a shaved head. I shaved my head. I took that shit down to like a 2.
With a what? With a what?
Clippers.
With the clippers.
I got clippers.
What kind of clippers?
Yeah. The haircut clippers.
Hair clippers.
The barber clippers.
What kind of
Actual
haircut clippers? What brand? Give me some names.
I don't remember what they are.
Oh, you fucking up, Black.
I got them 3 or 4 years. I think they're Wall, maybe. I don't know. Wall or Remington. It's like heavy duty clippers. They're legit like.
So you just put
clippers.
So you just put a 2 on some clippers
and just went to town.
And just
Yeah.
all over.
And my shit was long. Like I've always kept. I mean, I get a fade. I keep it a short fade whenever I do it. But the whole head is done for.
How's your hairline, fellas?
I need some clippers.
So I don't want to talk about that. It's starting to recede slightly.
You having a
Shaving
problem?
My head like this, shaving my head like this makes me really notice my forehead is growing. Forehead is definitely larger.
Yeah, dude.
It feels pretty good.
Them corners are rising, right? Them triangles.
That's exactly where it is. I got a little bit of a
them
point.
corners
I got
is
that
rising,
peak in the
baby.
front.
Yeah, nigga.
That's what the problem is. 100%.
Yeah, nigga.
I kind
You
of
know
like
what that's
it.
called,
I
right?
think I'm gonna
That's called stress.
save myself $10 every 4 weeks and just start cutting my own hair because I kind of like it. I probably
Nah,
would've
there's
left it
something
a little
about-
longer. I think it's a little too short, but whatever.
Nah, I still love the professional touch. I need to sit in that chair. I
Me
need
too.
to get the
Yes.
clippers. I need to
Yes,
get the
I'm with
fucking.
Dan.
Yeah, but if you're
I am
doing
with
something
Dan.
like
Straight
actually fading
razor.
it, I'm talking like if I'm
bro,
gonna just
no,
shave
but
it,
even
I'm just
no,
gonna
but
stay
beyond
with
that, bro.
myself.
Nah,
you're
but even if I was
talking
just going for a buzz cut, bro.
But girl,
Even if
bro,
I was just
look,
going for a
look.
buzz cut, I still want them sideburns. I still
guy.
want.
Look, you're
Oh,
talking
I can
about
take care of all that myself.
a barber as opposed to social distancing, bro. We're in social distancing.
Yeah.
There is no barber, bro. Like,
There's no
do you not
motherfucking
think-
barber.
Do you not think I've been looking?
I got a white bitch
for a
named
barber?
Becky.
Like, yo, if
Cutting
I
my
was in
hair right now,
Chicago-
nigga. Becky.
Bro, if I was in Chicago right now, that wouldn't be a problem. Nigga. I know barbers in Chicago, nigga. I know barbers in Chicago, nigga. Like, I know barbers.
That's
but
hilarious.
None of them are around here. None of those barbers live around here.
Shit.
So I'm in a situation where ain't no fucking barber. So like, I'm gonna have to like somehow like find myself.
I got to get some clippers.
pair of clippers. Yeah, exactly. Like someone's got to give because right now I look fucked up.
Yeah, I got to.
I
I'm
look
looking
fucked up.
fucking. No, I'm looking crazy. I'm looking like a straight
Real shit,
hippie
dog.
right now, nigga.
Yeah, you gotta take care of that. I cleaned up my beard.
I'm
I
looking like
cleaned
a
up
motherfucking
top of
hippie.
the
You know what's
head.
so funny? I was talking to Question about that. Question's like, yo, I don't ever shave my shit. He was like, the only time I ever trim up my shit is if I'm doing like a photo shoot or whatever. But most of the time, he's like, I'm letting my shit grow out, man. I'm trying to look like a hippie. I'm trying to look like Bob Marley. Then he got dreads and
his
everything
hair
and
or his
shit,
beard?
so he works out. Both.
Oh, okay.
No, he got dreads and
Yeah, I mean, I
he
keep my
got
beard
dreads. He got the
long.
long ass
I
fucking
cleaned it.
hippie beard.
Nice. Yeah, my
You know he's a
beard
smoker. You know
probably
he's a straight
hangs off
smoker.
my chin like 4 inches. Mine's thick. I got like a lumberjack beard though. My shit look like a Santa Claus beard.
My nigga got the Santa beard.
Yeah, it's even got some.
I don't
gray.
have that.
You
It'll
are
probably
getting
be white by the time I'm
discoloration?
40. Oh
You
yeah.
getting some gray there?
Yeah. My beard is definitely
Yeah,
something
man.
better. Yeah.
No, yo, speaking of gray, it's so crazy. Fucking Diddy, Kevin Hart, and somebody else in the social distancing shit, they went live on Instagram. Just bared it all, nigga. Them niggas are getting
What
gray
happened? What'd you see?
hairs
What happened?
like
I
a
didn't see it. What happened?
motherfucker, nigga.
What, gray?
Those niggas are getting straight up gray hair. That's Puff Granddaddy, baby. that nigga is whoa. And if you hear him, some of the people who have literally started sounding very like they just sound like they're decrepit. 50, Diddy,
Wait, who was
Jada
this?
Kiss.
Yeah, F definitely.
Oh,
Jada.
you were saying
Jada?
Diddy sounds old though?
Diddy sounds old, bro.
Oh yeah.
Look
But did you
up
say
a
Jada
video of
sounds
him.
old?
Look up a video of Diddy from Instagram Live. You're gonna hear that nigga talk. You're gonna be shocked.
This was recently?
Yes. This nigga hosted a dance-a-thon. Yo, listen to this shit. More fucking Lizzo hate. I love this shit. This nigga was hosting a dance-a-thon on Instagram Live. That nigga cut Lizzo off when she started twerking.
Yeah, I saw that.
So then he got backlash online, right? He got backlash online. So that nigga went on a video and said, "Nah, I would never stop the sister Lizzo from twerking. It's because the song had a lot of bad words in it."
It wasn't because of twerking. It was because of cursing.
Yeah, bro. Yo. Cursing. The kids was around, man. No cursing.
It was who was it? Kevin Hart, Diddy, and who? Or was it Diddy's Instagram?
Yeah, it was Diddy's Instagram, but you can find the videos on YouTube. If you just type in Diddy Instagram Live, you'll see it.
Oh, here we go. This says extended. It's like 7 minutes, but we'll listen to part of it.
No, you'll hear him right in the beginning, though.
Hey, hey, hey. I'm a dog, bitch. I holler at the moon. I remember when I didn't have cable. That was back when I used to watch Zoom. Oh, you better move. Happy Easter to you, brother. You better move. Oh, you better move.
Kevin Hart, what's up?
What up with you, man?
Yeah, Kev, you know I'm here playing engine like Kevin Durant right now for the people, for the healthcare workers. You know, and man, it's a pleasure to see you. But one thing that we do need to address, Kev, is that we have this whole movement going on.
Yes, sir.
First of all, you know we're doing this for the
That
healthcare
nigga
workers.
sound old as a motherfucker,
Everybody
bro.
can pen to donate. You know what I'm saying? Cash.
He does.
Out.
But
Everybody got
how
cash
old
out.
is Diddy now?
So make
Diddy's...
sure y'all donate something.
He's in his 40s, nah?
You see this quarantine?
No, he's got to be in his 50s, right?
Yeah, I had that.
We saw you a couple of weeks
I hit
ago.
the Brando. Yeah.
We saw you a couple of weeks ago, and so I was looking. I
He
thought we was
he
in
turned
unity,
50 this
you know what
year.
I'm saying? I thought we was in unity, but
I was with you.
I think he's super fresh.
No.
And
Yeah.
We want to know all the brothers out there that's quarantining. We want to understand.
He sounds like that old like uncle at the barbecue. Hey, little youngster, come here.
Pass me that corn.
Grab me another one of them cornbreads. Come here. Let me talk. Let me get you here for a second. Real quick. Come here.
Hey, yo, turn down the music, man. Turn down the music.
Let me holler at you for a second, real quick. Let me get you here for a second, little youngin.
That's the uncle in the corner for real yelling some shit.
Yeah.
When
Grab
they
me
get
another one of them
into
cold ones
a
out
political
that cooler
discussion,
right there.
he's
Come
banging the
here.
table.
Hey, come here. Let me get you here for a second, little youngster.
Oh, my God.
That's exactly.
You heard 50, right? 50 sounds old, too, man.
Oh,
Yeah, 50 sounds
yeah.
ancient.
But it's crazy because these guys are getting old when you stop and think about it. It's just so crazy because we grew up on them and we saw them coming
So
up
we
through
know
their
how they
prime, and
sounded
we don't
back then,
stop
yeah.
to think about, I mean, they are old. I mean, they're not old, but they're older. You know, they're hitting that 50 mark. You know, you start getting to that point in your life. But we just, you know, we think of them as, you know,
We think of them as the
friggin'
immortal
rappers and stuff
people
grew
that
up
they
on.
have always been. We in our minds, they'll never stop being the age that they were when we met them.
Exactly. I mean, look at him. Listen to, you know,
Yeah,
the Slim
M
Shady album,
now sounds
and then listen to him now, like,
vocally
he
very
sounds
similar.
like shit.
No. He vocally on music sounds very similar to the way he always does. You have to listen to him
It's
talk.
definitely a little.
No, it's different.
It's a
not the
noticeable
same.
change, though, for sure,
There's definitely a noticeable change.
2005 to
You have
2010.
to listen to him talk to really get the full extent of what it sounds like. Because, like, one of my favorite things to do is to listen to Tim Westwood with him and Con Artist, and then to listen to him on the Howard Stern show in 99, 2000.
Yeah, I remember that.
That
When
shit
Howard was
is
getting on him for talking
not
black, he
even-
said.
Oh,
He's like, "Why do you
my
sound
sweet
black?"
Jesus. Oh my God.
I think that's just a Michigan thing, like a Detroit thing. White
It is
dudes.
a Detroit. It is a
Certain dudes that
Detroit
came
thing,
from
but
different
like
areas. 'Cause,
certain
like, Rude
white people,
Jude
certain
is the
white
same
people
way.
are not gonna be able to
You know,
understand
Rude
it.
Jude.
Certain idiots are not gonna be able to understand it either.
Yeah.
Nah, kid. There's a fucking dude out of Kalamazoo named Kid. KYDD. That nigga spits just like, kind of like M, but more so. What I noticed from niggas in the Midwest, they have a very, very huge grasp on rhythm. Look up
Who?
Kid freestyle.
White dudes from-
Look up a Kid freestyle.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, he's a white dude from Kalamazoo, Michigan. This nigga's nice. You could do ISIS, I guess. You could do the ISIS freestyle.
Okay.
This nigga is nice.
One time for them people that support grind. Two bitches, I'ma eat them like a pork rind. Third time is the charm, so I add a little midget.
They have a
bitch to
really
the
good
situation,
grasp on
she's fun
fucking
size. 4 times for them rappers that have done
rhythm.
tried to top me, but I ate them all like it's lunchtime. Nobody does it like this besides kids. Somebody tell them bitches that I'm colder than ISIS. Came from the top of the map, but the bottom of Jacob's ladder. I promise I'll make you scatter. I'm dangerous now when I'm on the roof. You don't hear the clatter. I'm Saint Nick with a big sack and I'm stomping until your ceiling shatters. You got opinions, they don't really matter. Bitch, I'm a giant when you walk the ring and pitter patter. You making noises with your mouth, but it's jibber jabbing. Or you contribute to the game, bitch, I've been a factor. Huh? I'm just trying to get some head on Lotus. Grab her by the ponytail and tell that bitch to focus. Roll the windows up and grab a blunt and get the smoking. She don't even smoke, but that bitch still choking. Stand when I speak, you don't sit at the podium. Bitch, I'm the shit, no Imodium. You a little funny motherfucking Nickelodeon. I'm trying to bring an Oscar to this Maya like Baloney did. Welcome to the swamp, it ain't a thing but a chicken wing. I'm the Loch Ness, better be optimistic. Fucking I rock this shit, I bring an apocalypse. You never to stop the kid, now I got a pot to piss. And I reside from a ghetto ass city named Flinttown. That's my city, talk down, we can get down. We ain't fucking greedy, bitch, will give you all the smoke. Boy, you sweet artichoke, we gon' ride carnival. Don't ever play my name, I never gang a bang, but I was chillin' with them killers in the projects. Fuck the fame and fortune, I still break your nose, bitch, keep that ass at home with all that nonsense. Like a rocket, I be taking off, and there's nothing you can never do to stop it. Fuck the ops, I got to get the guap and make it to the top, like there ain't another option, bitch, my name's Kid.
Whoa. Whoa. I think
Yeah, niggas
that
nasty.
Detroit, Michigan, they definitely, those white boys that rap, they have a tone to them that kind of. I don't
Yeah,
know.
bro.
It's kind of all the
It's
same.
very.
It's a flow. It's a
The thing is,
certain
it's
flow.
I know what you're saying, but there's a confidence thing though. They're very secure. They study it.
For sure.
Those guys, when you live in a shit ass city like Detroit, or Flint, like he said, all you have to do is sit down and take in music. If you don't want to get shot up, if you don't want to get fucking robbed, if you don't want to get fucking mugged, all you're doing is sitting at home is taking in this shit. And so they study it. You know, it's not like the type of grind like it is in the big cities like New York and LA and all this shit like that. Like, you have the more chance of running into people and trying to be those people. So, I don't know.
Trying to
There's
find
definitely a
this
grind.
other dude.
Yeah, man.
There's this other dude. His name's Snow, and he's from Pontiac. He's the same way. I can't find his freestyle anymore though.
Pontiac, Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't find it. But yeah, he's another guy,
Damn.
white dude. Obviously, he's Snow, but
Yeah.
he's got that same kind of vibe to him. Yeah, I don't know. Michigan has there's a griminess to like the Pontiac Detroit rap scene.
It
Kinda
is,
like-
man. There's some, when you come from the gutter, man, there's some shit. There's some shit that really, really sticks to you and you really can do it well. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a white boy, but that nigga we just heard is a nigga. You know, to me, he's a nigga. Like, he knows.
A lot of it is idiomatic, like what you grow up learning how to say. So like
Who you
can't
grew up
change-
around, right? Like it's the,
Yeah,
who's
exactly.
around
Like
you,
you
the block-
can't
the block you came
change
from.
what
Yeah.
you learned. You can't change like what you learned is how you speak when this happens. You know what I mean? Like when certain things happen, people tend to speak in a certain way. People don't recognize it as that, but that's what it is. Like there are events that are triggered that make people speak in a way that is not. And they're like, "Yo, I noticed that you started talking like that when such and such and such and such a." And it's like, yeah, I know, yeah. You got real crazy when that happened. It's like, no, bro. Like when I was 4 or 5 years old, my house got shot up, and I had to pull my 2 brothers like under the sheetrock. But no one really thinks to say that because no one really remembers stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, so like your younger memories or whatever you grew up learning how to do and say at that key instrumental age is just that. It's just fixed in your head. And so when you come out of that and you in your 20s and you're saying stuff
crazy.
at a certain age, it's like, yo, holy shit, how did you say that? Well, dude, I've been saying that since I was a kid. But no one,
I was thinking about
reach back to that to really,
I was thinking about last night. I had this thought about how people shit on, slang. They can't understand trap music today because the evolution of slang, and it comes from, you go to Atlanta and you're going to hear a lot of these people say, shortening words and doing what Puerto Ricans have done forever, taking off consonants. And I think that it's like, and I was thinking how simple it comes down to, as a hello turned into yo. And yo is something that, like, that's just ingrained. Yo, what's up? Like, yo. You saying you don't think, and it's so normalized now. And it's just like a lot of other slang words that we just use in our everyday that's all evolution of fucking slang. And so if it sticks with you from when you're a kid, like, there's nothing you can do to change that, man. The brain is already programmed. The brain is already programmed.
You got anything slang-wise that you guys still use that you grew up using, like that you didn't grow out of, even as you got older? You still.
Good question.
The answer to that is that there's a lot of it, and there some of it.
Or like a specific word, like maybe you call something.
Okay, so I'll give you one
that,
specific piece of terminology. G.
Okay.
That little letter G,
oh,
right?
Yeah.
That's a very Chicago 90s era, early 2000s, even mid 2000s era thing. Like, what's good, G? Like, that sort of thing. Another one, daddy. Like, yo, that's the black version of Sam Papi. Like, that's the same concept.
I think that's too like a real like Midwest East Coast thing too.
It is.
I hear you guys say that a lot, but you don't hear that out on the West Coast that much.
No, you're not gonna hear it on the West Coast. That is very Midwest, very East Coast, very Puerto Rican, very African.
It's a lot of
greeting, congratulating.
It's how you show love. It's how you show love.
So you show love, exactly. It's how you congratulate. It's how you give dap verbally.
I use dope. Dope was very 90s. It's kind of come back again, but dope. Everything has been dope.
In Chicago, when we use dope, we use it as a catch-all for drug. So everything is dope. Dope. Heroin is dope. Weed is dope. Cocaine is dope.
I use it
everything
more
is
in
dope.
A positive, oh, that's dope. Oh, that's dope.
Right. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. No, I know that too. In Chicago, we use that. Like, positivity was dope throughout the 90s. That's dope. That's real dope. If you're going to college and getting a degree, that's dope. Right. No, that's understandable.
Fire. I use fire. That's fire. That's fire a lot.
That's hot. That's hot.
That's hot. It's hot.
Do you try to use the newer ones today, like lit?
No, I don't. Well, I do. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I do. I use them today, but I think I use them as a means of my humanity, because what I more use is my 90s stuff. I use that's tight. That's decent. That's, what I mean? Like, I use my older stuff more than my more modern stuff. But yeah, I do use my modern stuff. I definitely do. But my modern stuff I learned in my more teenage years. For real, yeah. For real. Like, serious. But I'm more of a person.
No, people are actually doing FR now.
More seriously.
Oh yeah.
Are you serious? Yeah. Like, seriously? I gotta say that.
Bruh, I still use bruh a lot. And that was because of my brother and I. So bruh or bro, like bro, chill. Chill is another one too.
Yeah.
Chill.
Oh yeah, chill is a good one. Chill.
Chill the fuck out.
Chill. Yo, chill.
Chill.
That was in the
Dog.
streets.
Yeah,
Yo, chill.
man.
Oh,
Yo, chill.
and that's
chill, chill.
yo. Speaking of that, that's another one. Another one from Chicago. Another one, very Midwestern. Dog. Like it was good, dog.
Oh, dog, yeah.
You know.
Well, dog was actually
Dog
big out
is
here, but
big.
that was-
Dog
that
is
was
out in the
Snoop.
East
That was
Coast
a
too,
Snoop
right?
thing. West Coast.
Yeah, dog is a real
West-
big West Coast thing, but
Yes,
the
West Coast
Midwest
thing,
caught
yeah.
that shit hardcore, dog. See what I mean? Yeah. No, the Midwest.
No,
caught
the
it
West
hardcore.
Coast for real, because the Cholos say dog.
Oh yeah.
The Cholos, if you go to fucking, United States, Mexico and the United States, South Cali, I'm telling you, you're going to hear all them Cholos. You're like, oh, like, you ever heard the girl in the beginning of the Drake record, the How About Now remix? She said, you chiefin', dog.
Oh, Chiefin'. Chiefin' is a good one too.
That's some West Coast ass
That was
shit.
the word to go smoke. Hey, you want to go chief? You want to go chief? Let's go.
B was a big East Coast thing.
B is East. That's East Coast all day
Yeah,
long.
yeah, B.
Especially New York. East Coast all day long, especially New York. B.
A lot of sayings like
that's
keep it a
huge.
bean, keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? A lot of East
guys have
Coast slang
slang
there.
for money?
That
Growing up, everything was Fetty. Got to get that Fetty. We used that a lot in the 90s. What you got on my Fetty?
guap was always big.
Green.
I feel like guap is a big East Coast thing too, though.
Green
Gotta get that
guap.
was big in the Midwest. Bread
Bread is good.
Bread was massive.
I think people still say the bread one. That's kind of I think. Coast to
No,
coast.
they still do. They still
Get
do.
that
That's
bread.
still
Yeah.
that's long lasting. Cake.
Oh, cake is cake is
green
everything now.
bread,
Cake is
cake.
getting them cheeks. Cake is getting that dollar, get that money. Yeah, that's good times. It's,
Prez.
there's
Prez
definitely
too.
words
Like,
that have held up longer.
Get these prez. Get these prez. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Scratch. There's another one, scratch. You know. But that was more 80s to be honest. But
We used that a little bit through the 90s.
a little
Gotta
bit,
get
yeah.
that
A little bit.
scratch.
A little bit.
All right. Well, we started a little bit late.
Fuck all
We're gonna
y'all.
get
it's all right. No big deal. We ran for 2 hours though, right? That was a 2-hour run.
That's enough.
Talking
However
you
long it
fucks.
was, it's enough.
Hour 45. But yeah.
Listen, we
Solid
talked about
show
a
for
lot
the
of shit
people.
today. We talked about credit. We
Lot
were your
of shit.
financial advisors today.
Very much so.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, don't listen to us. Don't listen to us.
Please don't.
Please
We
do your own
comfortably poor,
due
baby.
diligence on that one. Yeah. Comfortably.
Yeah.
Comfortably poor for a reason. Yo, comfortably poor for
that's
a
why this
reason.
nigga was really happy about a stimulus check this morning, all right? He's comfortably fucking poor. He needed that $1,200.
That shit came
No
in
big
and
deal,
went
right?
out just as fast as it came in.
Of course.
100%.
That's any
That's
check.
money in general. Yeah.
That's getting a check in America.
100%.
Congratulations. You're a fucking
100%.
working citizen, you piece of shit.
Yep. Good to be here.
You fucking
people.
give into the system. You pay Uncle Sam, you cocksucker.
Yeah, 100%. As always, 844-997-0775. Drop voicemails. Hit us up
Please
when
do.
we're not live.
Oh yeah.
Live show again this Sunday. Episode of the podcast will drop on Friday.
Yeah.
11 a.m. this Sunday. We'll be live again. So you got questions, comments, anything like that. Hit us with articles, video clips, whatever you got. You come across something funny online, share it with us. Let us know about it. You can send it to inbox.
And some really funny shit, too.
Or at CPPod100 on social media.
There's some really funny fucking podcast episodes out too right now, so
Yeah. Some good ones.
that if OJ had $1 million, this has to be
That
to
one-
be a banger.
that
That number
last
has
20
to
minutes
rise.
of that one, and even the last like 15 or 20 if you go back, dig a little deeper to the what
coffee?
did I title that? If you want coffee, yeah,
It
yeah,
was the
yeah,
coffee.
yeah, yeah.
If you want,
Yeah. Where we play the clip
Yeah,
of the
those-
old dude in the nursing home. So
yeah, she said that's nasty.
no, it's not. No, it's not. You know it's
Meanwhile, she's choking on her boyfriend's cock when she gets home. Fucking stupid bitch.
100%. She's riding it.
All right. Let's get out of here, fellas.
Appreciate you.
Holy shit.